is the final webinar of Connector and Inbound Endpoints webinar series. Today's webinar is about integration scenarios with WSO2 ESB connectors and inbound endpoints. This is the agenda of today's webinar. Today we will be looking into modern enterprises behavior and its needs. Next we will go briefly about ESB connectors, then focus on inbound endpoints and streaming APIs. Finally, we will go through with a demo on how to integrate ESB connectors and streaming connectors with WSO2 ESB. Let me explain about modern enterprises behavior briefly. We know technologies are growing very faster and business trends are changing very frequently. If you take any modern enterprise, they consist of disparate systems and services. They may use different protocols and services in various platforms. So you need an IT system which can adapt to the consistently changing business requirement. Most of the IT solutions not based on a single vendor or single solution. You can pick and choose from different vendor to fulfill your requirements. And also you may use on-premise services or on cloud solutions according to your business needs. Most of the enterprises ended up by implementing these solutions with the point-to-point spaghetti integrations. It may experiences scalability, maintainability, and troubleshooting overheads. So the enterprise service bus solves most of these integration tribulations. It acts as the central point to integrate these disparate systems. So one of the major advantage of WSO2 platform is having world fastest and high performance CSB. It is a lightweight tool and near zero latency product. Let's move to ESP connectors. Nowadays we are dealing with multiple cloud APIs. So when it comes to integrate these disparate systems, there can be cloud to cloud or cloud to enterprise. To fulfill these needs, WSO2 platform come up with the solutions which is ESB connectors. It is a reliable tool that can reach any publicly available APIs such as REST, SOAP and Java. For instance, if you take Salesforce, you may have customer related data. So you can save it. You can save those data to Google spreadsheet. Here WSO2 ESP provides a convenient tool to get data from Salesforce and save those data to Google spreadsheet. And also you can integrate multiple APIs together with the help of ESB. With the ESP 4.90 release, we introduce 140 plus connectors, including streaming connectors such as Salesforce and Twitter. Let's see what is inbound endpoints and streaming connectors. Inbound endpoint is an endpoint which resides in server side of the ESB. Those are introduced to achieve some of the main features like multi-tenancy support for some protocols like JMS by passing access to layer in inbound side, deploying and undeploying inbound endpoints without server restarting. Basically, there are three behaviors introduced such as polling behavior, listening behavior and event-based behavior. Basically, the polling behavior polls periodically for data, and if data is available, then inject those data to given sequence. This is used in JMS, file and generic inbound endpoints. Another behavior is listening. As the direct meaning of the term, it listens for requests. Here, listener is started on a port and it listens for request coming to that particular port. This is available in HTTP and CXFRS inbound endpoints. The last behavior is event based. So event based inbound endpoint polls only once to establish a connection with the remote server, then consume events. Uh, Another concept is streaming APIs. Streaming APIs allow developer to access data and receive notifications for changes with the match query that you define. For instance, if you take Twitter Streaming API, it gives low latency access to Twitter's global stream of tweet data. And also, Twitter Streaming API requires a persistent and keep alive connection between the web server and Twitter. Once tweets come in, Twitter notifies your server in real time and allowing you to store them into the database. Uh, okay, that's all about the streaming APIs and stuff related with that. Kadis will take over from here. He will go through a couple of use cases and demos related to WSO2 streaming connectors and REST connectors.
Thank you, Ashalia. Hi everyone. I'm going to demonstrate two use cases. In first use case, I get the real-time tweets and user detail from Twitter, then store those data to Kafka message broker. Finally, send those tweets and user data to Salesforce CRM. Before going to this demo, I will explain the ESP extensions which are used for this scenario. Here we use the Twitter streaming connector to get the real-time tweets uh, from from Twitter, and I will use the Kafka connector to publish the data to Kafka message broker. Then Kafka inbound is used to consume the message from Kafka message broker. Finally, we use the Salesforce connector to send the data to Salesforce CRM. So before going to this, I will explain the Twitter streaming connector. The Twitter streaming connector can be used for, let's say, companies and researchers who need the real-time data frequently from the Twitter. Those can use this Twitter streaming connector. So for creating this configuration, I'm going to use WSO2 Developer Studio. This is the WSO2 Developer Studio. So I will open the dashboard. Here I have already opened the dashboard. Here I need to create a ESP config project. So I am just clicking on that. Here I will click next. Here I need to give the project name. So I will give the name as tweets. Now I will click finished. Now I will click on finished. Now I have created the ESP config project. You can see in the project explorer. In our use case, we need to get the data from Twitter infrequently. So I will create a streaming connector in the project. So the Twitter streaming connector has been created as a inbound endpoint in the ESP. So I just right click on that and I will create a new inbound endpoint and I will click next. So here I will select the custom. The Twitter inbound endpoint streaming connector has been created as a custom inbound endpoint. So I will add the here I will add the inbound endpoint name and I will click finished. Now I have created the inbound endpoint. I need to configure the inbound endpoint. So as I already said, the inbound is created as a polling inbound. So here we need to add the polling interval. So I will add the interval as 100, and we need to add the parameter for Twitter inbound. Twitter inbound is streaming connector. Here I will add the parameter. So I will click new. I have already have in here. So I will add the parameter. This is a consumer key, consumer secret, and this is the value. This is the access secret key, and this is the value. And I will create the another parameter also. Here I will add the key for the access token. This is the value for the access token. Likewise, I will add the consumer key also. Now I will add the value for the access token, consumer key. Now I have added the credential for the Twitter. Now we need to add the another parameter for the here I will add another parameter, Twitter dot track. This is the key value. I need to get the data with this key value. So I will use this happy Xmas. So this operation is a filter operation. So I will add the operation filter operation. Operation is filter. Now I would like to get the tweets in English. So we have another parameter, Twitter dot language. Sorry, language is English. Now I have configured the Twitter streaming connector configurations. These Twitter, these four values we can get from the Twitter developer account. So now I have created the configuration for Twitter inbound endpoint. As you already know about, the inbound messages are injected to the sequence. So here we need to create a sequence mediator here. So I will drag and drop the sequence mediator. So I need to give the name for sequence mediator. I will give the name request Twitter sequence. Now I have created the sequence mediator. In the sequence mediator, in our scenario, you can see here, you can see in the slide, we get the message from the Twitter. Now we need to send the message to the Kafka message broker. Here in our ESP we have the component as called Kafka connector. So in this point we need to call the Kafka connector. So here I need to add the Kafka connector configuration here. So before doing the configuration in the developer studio, we need to add the Kafka connector. So here I will add the Kafka connector first. So we have the option here. I will add the Kafka connector. Here we can add the Kafka connector from our local machines, or we can download the connector from the WSO2 store. So I will connect. So now it takes time to download all the connector details. Mm. It takes time to download all the connector. All the connectors are downloading. So now I will select the Kafka connector here, and I will click finish. Now I have imported the Kafka connector. Once I upload the connector, we can see in the Developer Studio palette. So here we have the two operations. In Kafka connector, we need to first make a connection with this Kafka message broker. So here we have the operations init method, init operation. Sorry. I need to create a connector configuration in this sequence. So I double click it and I will add the operations. So here I need to give the broker course name and fault. So now I have the create a configuration to make a connection with the Kafka broker. Here I have already started the zookeeper and Kafka server. This is required for the Kafka message broker. So you can see more information in our ESP documentations and the connector documentations. Now I will serve it. In the after the init method, we need to publish the message to the Kafka message broker. So we have the another operation, publish messages. So here I need to add the value for the topic. So I will add the value topic name as tweets. So I will publish the message with this topic. Now we have configured the Twitter inbound and the Kafka connector configurations. Now you can see in this you can see in this presentation we have get the message from Twitter. Now we send the message to the Kafka broker. Now you can see I will show the here. Now you can see I have used the one Kafka consumer here. So when we send the message to Kafka message broker, we can verify this using this Kafka consumer tool. Once we message come to this Kafka message broker, we will get the message here. Now, so you can see the text message we put as a. You can see now we got the message. So this is the message we are getting. So now we have configured the configuration for the Kafka connector also. Now we need to consume the message from the Kafka broker. So for that we have the component in the ESP as a Kafka inbound endpoint. Now I will create a inbound endpoint. So I will create a inbound endpoint. this is already available in the here. So I will select Kafka. So I need to give the name for the Kafka inbound endpoint. So I will give the name Kafka inbound, sorry, inbound endpoint. So now I will click on finished. Now I have created a Kafka inbound endpoint. I need to change the configuration. These are the default configuration for Kafka inbound endpoint. So now I need to change these configurations. So here I will give the topic name as tweets, and these messages are JSON format. So here I need to change the content type to JSON format. So here I have added the topic name as tweets because here in the Kafka connector we send the message with the with this topic. So we should consume we should subscribe this same topic, and we should consume the message. So for that I give the name tweets. So now I have complete the configuration for the Kafka inbound endpoint. Now as you already know about this inbound process, inbound is inject the message to a sequence. So here also I need to create a inbound endpoint, create a sequence, sorry. So I will give the name for sequence request sequence. Now double click. So after getting this message from the Kafka broker, we need to send those messages to the Salesforce CRM. So in this messages, this is a JSON format message. So in this JSON format message, we need to extract the tweets and user name. So for that we need to use the property mediator here. So I will use the property mediator. So I will type text. Here I will give the name for that tweets, and I will change the value for expression. Here I will give the so I will get the message using the XPath expression. Text. This key is available in the JSON format. So now I need to get the username also. So here I will use the property mediator. So username. I will use the username. Likewise, I will change the expression. So here I need to add the XPath expression. JSON event user dot name and click on OK. Now I need to send this data to Salesforce CRM. So for that we need to create the configuration for the Salesforce. So I have already import the Salesforce connector. So now you can see in the palette. So now I will use the init method. So in the init method, I need to give the username, password and login URL. So I will give the username value and password and login URL. Now I have created the this init method will make the connection with this Kafka, sorry, not Kafka, the Salesforce CRM. Now I need to create the object in the Salesforce. So for in our demo purpose, I have already created the custom object. So I have already created the custom object here. So here you can see these fields, tweet name, tweets, and these fields. Here what I am going to do is I am going to create the object in the Salesforce using this uh, Salesforce operations, Salesforce connect operations. So here I need to use the payload package mediator. So here I need to do the configuration for payload package mediator. So I have already have the configuration. So this is the configuration for payload package mediator. So uh, here this is the subject, a subject. So these are the fields. So I will send the details to these fields. So name and tweets. Now click on OK. So I need to use the another operations, create a subject. So I have already created the payload. I have created a subject in the payload package mediator. So now I need to create the object. Object. So now save it. So now I have complete the configurations. Now I need to export this our configuration and import it to the ESP. So before exporting this configuration, we need to upload the connector also. So in our latest version of the developer studio, we can build the connectors with this configuration. So and we can directly import the with the configuration and connector directly to the ESP. So in this dashboard, so I will create the new exported project here. So I will give the name. In our configuration, we have used the Salesforce and Kafka connector. So I will Kafka and Salesforce. So I need to export both connector. So here right click the project and I will add the connectors. So here I will add the connectors. So I will select the workspace. We have already imported the connector, so we can see in the workspace. Now I will select the Kafka connector and to Kafka connector and Salesforce connector. So now I will click on OK. So and I will finish. Now I have created the configuration and the exporter project. Now I need to build this in the one project. So we have the I need to create a uh, composite application project here. So here I will give the name for composite application project. I will give my name as tweet. Now I need to select the configuration and the connector. So this is the configuration, this is the connectors. Now I will select next. Now I will click on finish. Now I have created the composite project. Now I need to export this project. So here I will export the project, and I need to give the location. So I will browse and give the location. I will click finish. Now I have created the car file. Now I can directly import this car file to the ESP. So now I will move to the ESP. So I will log in as an admin user. Here we can import the car file here. So here I have already imported the car file. Now you can see the connectors and the configurations are available in the ESP. So you can see the Twitter inbound, Kafka inbound, and the other configuration also available. Now I will show you the demo. Now, so in the Twitter inbound configuration, I have added the tracking value as Happy Christmas. So you can see here Happy Xmas. Happy Xmas. So the values are stored in the Salesforce as object. So this is the first use case. Now I will move to the next use case. This is the my next use case. In this use case, we are getting the real-time data from Salesforce and move this data to Google spreadsheet. To do this, we need to do some preconditions configuration in the Salesforce. So first we have to create the push topic. For that, I need to go to the Salesforce developer console. Here I need to create the push topic. So I will create the push topic. So this is already created. So this is the push topic name, and this is the query for the push topic. So whenever new message come to this object, so we can get that data to the Salesforce using this Salesforce streaming connector. So I will use this push topic name in this our Salesforce streaming connector configuration. So now I will go to the developer studio. Here I have already import the Salesforce streaming connector and the configuration. Now you can see this configuration for the Salesforce streaming connectors. And after the after we get the message, we need to send it to the Salesforce Google spreadsheets. So here I have already created the configuration for Google spreadsheets also. So now you can see the logic for the logic to create the to insert the data to Google spreadsheets. So here I use the some mediators. Now I will show the demo. This is the configuration for the Google spreadsheet, and this is the configuration for the Salesforce inbound endpoint. This is I have already imported the project. Now you can see whenever new tweets come to the Salesforce, that the messages will be stored in this Google spreadsheet. So now you can see here. So here these are the message. So now this is the name of the user. This is the tweets. So that's all about this demo. If you have any questions, please write through the chat. Thank you.